Code white, 2 southeast. Code white, 2 southeast.
And are you a flopologist having a wife?
I did a backflip in the bouncy castle. Sweet.
Just bounce and swing the dirt away.
Yes. It's just,
Anyway.
I have a message here for recruiters, okay? Do you want to keep people in? And to that sergeant,
I was not gonna let him beat me down. It was not worth
No,
it.
girl.
So then a bunch of people came after me and were like, "It's your fault." I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're gonna pick on us. Like it is what it is. And this continuous just picking and picking and picking really got to me.
please tell me, not that I don't want to listen to you, but please tell me you're done. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can't
That's all the injuries.
I can't take any more BS. I can't.
That's all the injuries. But there was one weekend
No.
where
Like, I'm just... No. Look, it doesn't...
yeah.
Okay. No. I really do wish there was something that I could say.
Me too.
But other than holy crap and what the and oh my god.
Hi guys, welcome back to Grippy Sock Talk. Today, Jen and I have a very special guest, and her name is Taylor. Hi.
Hi.
And your parents have a company called 506 Tackle Supplies.
Yeah, so they started this business, I think, like a year and a half ago at this point, maybe even 2 years at this point. They build and design all this tackle out of their garage, and they sell their tackle at a Minnow Tackle Supply here in Fredericton. And it's all veteran-owned and operated, and I kind of help out sometimes here and there, especially when there's some big orders come through or we're prepping for a show, so...
Amazing.
That is so awesome. Make sure
Awesome.
to check it out if you're in the Fredericton area.
All right. So, can you share a bit about your background and what led you to join the military?
So I joined the military super young, so there wasn't too much of a background like prior to joining the military. I knew I wanted to be doing something in the military when I was 12, and that was like very firm out there. And I think it all kind of started when I was like 5 or 6, because my dad's actually in the Air Force and still currently is in the Air Force.
Awesome.
And I remember one day in particular that he picked me up from school and he had to go back to work for some reason, and he brought me with him, and I got to play around on like the unserviceable F-18s in the hangar and stuff, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I think I just kind of fell in love with airplanes.
Yeah.
So that kind of started there, and it just kind of progressed. And then when I was 12, my parents kind of talked to me. They're like, okay, well, what are your plans? Have you thought about what you want to do? And I'm like, I'm 12. No, I have not.
I want to go outside.
And they're like, well, you have a couple years till high school, and the courses you pick in high school are going to be the ones that carry you on into your future. And I'm like, again, still like 4 years away. Still have time to think about it. But like my whole family basically is military. It's like the family business, I guess. So like it wasn't like forced upon me, but it was heavily influenced. So once I got to high school, I was like, okay, well, if I want to be an aircraft structures tech, what do I need to do to get there and to make myself be like someone that they're like, wow, we don't want to lose this person. Like, we want this person. So I did, grade 9, felt it out. And then I realized through the school that I was going to that I could take summer school by choice and get an extra credit, as well as take band and get an extra credit. So I was like, oh, I'm getting all the credits I can. So I was taking all of the summer school, all the art courses, all of this. So I could get all these extra courses so that in grade 10 that I could take co-op, because usually at that school co-op was for grade 11 and 12. So I was doing co-op in grade 10. So I was like 15, 16. And during that, I would do my morning classes at school, and I would leave at lunch, and I would go to the airport, the international airport that was close to us, and I would work the rest of the day hands-on fixing these aircraft, like aircraft that actually flew charters every single day. I worked on like many different airplanes, worked with many different experienced people, even worked with this person that they call in for the Boeings because they have an issue with the flaps, or like something that they deal with, and there's a technical term for it, but they call it a flapologist. So I spent like a week with this flapologist
Best
and learned
term
that's
ever.
a funny word. I'm sorry. It is.
Hold up.
Flapologist. Jen, are you a flapologist having a wife?
So I spent a week with the flapologist and learned.
It has a definition.
I don't know. So we should Google this. I don't know. But like the guy even told me, he's like, yeah, I've got a technical term, but like nobody can ever remember it. But like I don't even know what it is. So it's just a flapologist. So I spent a week on flaps.
Sorry, I love it. This is the new word for me. I'm going to be calling Jen a flapologist from now on.
I want to be called a flapologist for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Just imagine going to like anything. They ask you like, what do you do for a job, sir? I'm a flapologist.
Flapologist. That's Jen. Yeah.
What kind of area of work is that? Oh, it's in the aviation field.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I had to.
It was great. So I got to do that for a couple years, and then towards the end of grade 10, I was pulled into the principal's office, and I was utterly confused because I was goody two shoes. I had like one of the highest averages in my grade. I was like, this isn't where I'm supposed to be. Like, I'm lost. And then I even asked him, I was like, are you sure you're not looking for my sister?
Are you confused? Excuse me, sir. Are you confused?
And so he looks down at his paper. He's like, aren't you so-and-so? And I was like, yep. He's like, nope, we've got the right person. We're just waiting on somebody else. And we're sitting in complete silence in this office. Then this lady, like, clearly from the district, like, walks into the office, like, all, like, pantsuit, everything. I'm even more terrified because I'm like, what did I do? She sits down, she's like, yeah, so I hear that you're very interested in airplanes. And I was like, is that a bad thing? And she's like, no, we've like come up with these new high skills majors that students can partake in high school that give you like a major when you graduate. And we want you to partake in the aviation and aerospace major. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, you're the only one in the school that's been selected to do this major. And I was like,
get out.
What?
Damn, girl.
Cool. So I started this major the following year. So I attended all my regular classes, went to physics and stuff. But like the class, like they would get their projects, but my projects would be rounded aircraft and like how they fly and like how they work and stuff like that. I also had to do, I would have to leave school and go to the local college and do like college courses. Then I'd have to go to the airport. There is a bunch of like extra stuff I had to do to like get the hours to get this major. And then in grade 11, this is where things changed. My dad was promoted and posted to a different province. And I was going into my final year of high school. Final year to complete this major. And as soon as I found out that we were going to be posted, I told my teacher that was leading the major, I said, listen, like, can I crunch this down? Like, I really don't have much left. Can I crunch it down? Like, can I work on the weekends? Like, can we make this work? Like, I want this major. And he's like, we can try. So I like buckled down, like just books, and like trying to pound out this major. And unfortunately, I just missed it by like,
No.
Worst ending ever.
And then I was also supposed to, like, because I was rushing it, I was supposed to graduate at the end of grade 11 in that province. Then we moved to this province and go enroll us in school. And I was like, yeah, I actually have more credits at the end of grade 11 than what you guys require your grade 12 students to graduate with. And I said, do I actually really need to do a school year? And they said, yes, we don't graduate students early. And I said, okay, whatever. So I took like all bird courses.
Right.
I went to courses that I needed. I took an English, took a math, and I took a science, I think. Yeah, I took a science.
Yeah.
And I actually skipped more classes than I went to. Still graduated with honors. Challenged a bunch of courses. And sometimes I'd even walk into the classes and they'd be like, here's your work. Be like, bye. And I would leave. And sometimes I would call the school saying that I was my mom, so they wouldn't get the phone call home saying, hey, a student in this grade, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, I remember that.
But there was one class that I had to go to religiously, could not be late, whatever. And this was my chemistry, because my chemistry teacher was the high school hockey team. Guess who was on the high school hockey team? Myself.
You.
Guess who happened to be one of the assistant coaches on the team? My father.
Parents. Your father. Yeah, I knew it was coming.
So could not avoid that situation. So anyway, so I finished that out, and in the spring of my grad year, I was like, okay, I'm going to apply to the military. And I was really hoping to like, okay, I want to get to basic in the summer. So did all the recruiting stuff, and I actually had my offer for exactly what I wanted 4 months before I was supposed to walk the stage.
Wow.
I had my offer 4 months before I was supposed to graduate.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
2 weeks of summer vacation, off to boot camp. Bye. Fresh 18 in a completely different province.
My sister did that too.
In that province.
That's insane.
And no parents.
Wow. That's not to bring the other episode up, but it's so fun because you're early bloomer and our other veteran was a late bloomer.
It's kind of cool to see both sides. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what was kind of pushed into my head was like, the earlier you can get in, the more pensionable time you have.
Yes.
Which like,
yes.
be like every day counts.
Yes, it does. You're right.
Wow.
So they're like, if you were serious about this, like, do it now. Like, don't wait. Do it now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, wow. Okay. Whew. What was your role while serving?
So my trade was an aircraft structures tech. So that role covers the structural part of the aircraft. So anything with the body of the aircraft, painting, welding, riveting, stickers. We do stickers. We did maintenance on the pilots' helmets, vests, and life-saving support equipment on the aircraft.
That is so interesting. I love that.
That's so cool.
I unfortunately was stuck in the training phase. But
yeah.
Still got time at a squadron. I got a year at a squadron.
That's good.
Yeah,
well, that's good.
Yeah.
So looking back, what do you feel most proud about from your time in service?
Honestly, I think I was just proud to be able to serve along the many family members that were still currently serving, but not only for like my family members who had made the ultimate sacrifice.
Right.
So it was not only like a family thing, but it was also like being part of something big to potentially do good in the world.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
That was huge.
Are you comfortable sharing what happened or parts of it that stands out to you?
Sure, yeah. So like when I got to basic, it was all good. Like, you know, you sit in the room and the first thing they do is they start yelling at you.
Yep.
And like, it's the most insane stuff too, because you're like, okay, you want me to do that? But they're like trying to rush all 60 of us off the bus and like grab our bags, and they're like, grab your bag. And it's like, okay, but you piled my bag at the bottom. So, and they're like, you got 2 minutes to go. I'm like, okay, so we're going. So everything started off good. You get up to your room, you start unpacking, and you meet your people. And I was like, yeah, this is going to be good. And 2 weeks had gone by. Everything was still good. We just got our like kit issued, so we looked like bags of hammers with our chef's hat and our badly bloused boots. And I I look back on it now and I see you guys walking around and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's kind of funny. But we were doing what they call now like the confidence course, and it's not the obstacle course, it's the confidence course. So what they do is they break you up in your sections. So there's 4 sections, and they give you like a scenario, and you have to like bring yourself and whatever materials across whatever, and you have to like solve this mental puzzle by using your people and getting everybody across. It's kind of hard to explain without seeing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a puzzle, but you're doing it with your team. And the idea of it is like team bonding and communication and stuff like that.
Okay.
And like they didn't help us at all, which was they just kind of supervised to make sure like we didn't do anything dangerous. And we did the first one, no problem, passed it. Got to the second one, and it had started to rain. No problem. Ain't training if it ain't raining, so no problem. And then we moved on to the next one. And the next one, you had to, like, kind of, like, army crawl across these, like, 2 metal tubes. And because it was wet and our gear was wet, I, like, was going across, and I slipped. And I, like, popped the shoulder, and I fell. And I was like, great. I'm like, I'm okay. Like, it's good. So I kept moving on, went to the next one because I was like, gotta keep pushing through. Like, I didn't feel any pain. I was good. Got to the next one, and this one you had to like walk across this way. I just started that, and I was like, nope, this is not good. So I got down, I went to my staff. I was like, listen, like I messed up my shoulder, and the guy was like, what? You trying to tell me you're too weak to continue? Like, you don't want to like continue on with your teammates? You're letting your teammates down. Like, you got to keep going. And I was like, I cannot move my shoulder. He's like, well, you either go to the field hospital or we're going to take you to the hospital. And I was like, okay, I feel like it does need to be looked at some degree because like, I don't know what happened, but it hurts. So they're like, okay, well, we'll give you an ice pack and we'll let you sit in the truck for a bit and we'll see how you feel after. So I'm sitting there in the back of like the duty truck watching the rest of my team, like, and like they kept coming in and checking on me because they didn't want me to be asleep. They didn't come check on me to see like, hey, how's your shoulder?
Are
like,
you good?
You good? Like, do you need us to take you somewhere? No. Like, you're not sleeping, are you? You're not sleeping, are you? I'm like, no,
Oh my God.
I'm actually in pain, so no, I can't sleep. So that was like injury number 1.
Biting my tongue so hard right now.
Then the next day, they brought me into the office, and they're like, due to your incomplete on the obstacle course, you're ordered to the MIR, or MRI. No, MIR. I keep messing up. Still to this day, I mess up.
MIR, yeah.
So they took me there. They did x-rays and whatnot, and they're like, yeah, we can definitely see something on the x-ray. Like, something's not right. So they're like, okay, we'll send you to your staff. And my staff were like, all right, well, obviously you won't be able to continue with us, so we're taking you off platoon and we're putting you in the, like, holding injured platoon, which they called, like, TRP at the time. And there was, like, 3 different groups. There was a group of people who had unfortunately passed the force test, so they were in, like, an insane workout regime where they went to the gym like 3-4 times a day just to try and make the force test. It was insane.
Oh my gosh.
And then you had phase 2s, which were like ready to go back on platoon. Then you had phase 1, which was like injured. So I was on phase 1. So I was there for 2 weeks, and then I went back for a follow-up. They did another x-ray again, and they're like, oh yeah, you probably just did some soft muscle damage to your shoulder, but like I think we messed up the x-rays because I don't like these x-rays don't match. And I was like, so you guys are telling me that you think you messed up the x-rays, and then now I'm off course because of this. Now I'm going to go back on course. Great. Whatever. I was only 2 weeks behind, so they threw me back on a course where I would have been anyway. I would have, I think it set me back like a week. So went on that course. And this division at the time had the reputation of being like with some of the strictest staff. And the rumor was through the school that's because of some of their low grad numbers, they had some of them under investigation for low grad numbers and whatnot. So I was terrified. I was like, oh dear, I'm in for it. Joined this platoon, and everybody on that platoon literally thought that I knew everything about this course. And I'm like, I don't. I've literally gotten just as far as you guys and then spent the rest of the time on like a holding platoon.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept coming at me. They're like, no, you're not sharing all your info with us. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm literally showing you guys how to sew everything. I'm showing you guys how to make your bed for inspection. I'm showing you guys how they want the cabinet for inspection. I'm showing you how they want to fold stuff. I literally held like little groups of like, I'd go around and be like, okay, I'm holding a bed making class at blah, blah, blah time. Anybody that wants to join, it's at my bunk. Bring a notepad. And I showed them, like, with all the knowledge I had at 2 weeks on how to make a bed, which, not great. So then, like, the next week we had our inspection and whatever. And this inspection, like, I thought I did great on my inspection. I thought it was good. I was happy with it. Like, I ironed my bed, I starched it. Like, I thought it was good. We're standing there at attention. The one corporal comes in, does his report, and then goes into my room, looks at my bed, stands and stares at me. He's like, your bed looks like a fat man trying to get into yoga pants. Turned around and walked out. I'm still standing there like, supposed to... How? What? Huh? I'm like, okay, whatever. And then he's like, you owe me 25. Okay, so I get down and I do my 25. He's like, did I tell you could do your 25? I'm like,
you
no,
just
Master
did.
Corporal.
You just
No, Master
said.
Corporal. He's like, you have to ask permission. And I'm like, permission, Master Corporal. He's like, begin. So I did my 25. And then I got up. He's like, did I tell you to get up? So I said, I'm back down. I'm like, permission to recover, Master Corporal. He's like, no. I'm like, okay. So I'm stuck there. So
In a plank position?
I'm just stuck there. Yeah, I'm just stuck there. Then he comes walking while he's doing the rest of the inspections. I must have been there for, 5-10 minutes or so. And then he comes back. He's like, you can get up. Or was that the inspection? There was one inspection where I was down there and they forgot. He's like, why are you on the ground?
I was told to stay
Oh
here.
my
He
God.
left me there. So all that happened. And then after the inspection, we got a really poor grade on the inspection. So then a bunch of people came after me and were like, it's your fault. I'm like, what do you mean? They're going to pick on us. Like, it is what it is. And this continuous just picking and picking and picking really got to me. Thank goodness for my fire team partner. My fire team partner was like my ride or die. And there was one night where I can remember, like, it was not a good night. There's 2 girls in particular that were telling me that I wasn't pulling my own weight, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, you guys were all doing your homework and stuff while I cleaned our entire bathroom, shower, whatever, prepped it for inspection, did the floors, whatever, so you guys could, like, catch up on other stuff so we didn't have to focus on this. That wasn't helping you guys out? Okay. So I explained all this to my fire team partner, and I was really upset. I was like, am I not meant to be here? Like, is this a sign that, like, this isn't for me? Like... Because I really thought that this was where I was supposed to be. And he left for a little bit, and on my desk in my room, I had whatever left of what the pharmacy had given me. And I remember looking there, and I said, you know what, this is dumb. And I remember even calling home and being told, well, it's just a game, like, you got to get through. I'm like, I know it's just a game, but the stuff that's happening here is going further than what is just part of the game. Like, and they're like, no, just suck it up and get through it. And I'm like, okay, this is where I see where I stand. And I'm like, if they're not going to at least, like, be in my corner to vouch or at least kind of support me, or it felt like they were feeding into the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And 18, young, like, I was like not even home, like, so anyway, so I was sitting on my bed looking up at that shelf, looked down at my feet, and I said, screw it, here we go. And I poured everything into my hand, and I just took everything. Couldn't tell you what it was. Took everything. And fire team partner came back, and he was like, hey, do you want to sit down and, like, study our whatever we were studying? And we were going through, and then he kind of looked at me. He's like, are you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. He's like, okay. We continued studying, and then for some reason he looked over, and he's like, weren't those full? And I said, And he's like, you need to tell me the truth here. Like, I'm not going to get you in trouble. You need to tell me the truth here now. And I just handed him the bottles. Like, I had no words. I just handed him the bottles. And then I am assuming he went, grabbed the course senior, talked to the course senior. They called down to duty staff, and like 5-10 minutes later, duty staff was up, like right at my cubicle. And they're like, come with us. And I'm dressed in my PT gear. Walk downstairs, and I was like, do we have to take the stairs? He's like, no, we could take the elevator this time. I was like, okay. So we took the elevator, and we walked into one of the empty classrooms, and he sat me down in one of the chairs and talked about what had happened that night. And he's like, well, I'll send a message off to your staff, and I'll give you permission to go to bed early, and just make sure you talk to your staff tomorrow morning. I was like, okay. And he sent me back up to my floor, and I went to bed.
What?
They knew you took a bunch of pills.
What?
And they did not send you to a hospital?
Nope.
Do you remember, like, do you know now what they were?
I have a feeling I know what they were, and, like, honestly, they probably should have.
Okay. Should have is no. They... oh my God. So they... Okay. Rewind. They knew you took a bunch of pills. They knew you took a bunch of random
Duty staff
pills.
knew. Yep.
And they said, I'm going to give you permission to go to bed early. Bye.
And you could literally, sorry, my word, die? Because you don't even know what you took.
Yep. And then 2 hours later, I guess they had swapped duty staff. They came around again, and they pounded on my wall. They're like, why are you asleep? It's not bedtime yet. Lights are still on. And then everybody in my, like, pod, they're like, no, she has permission to go to bed early and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what?
Okay.
Did you feel, like, my question to you is, because we don't know what you took, but did you feel something? Like, were you lightheaded?
Yeah.
Were you,
slurring your words?
symptoms?
Like, yeah.
I'm going to say I was probably, at a minimum, probably messing up my words. But, like, I don't remember a whole lot. I remember, like, even walking up, I'm surprised I got to the right floor.
I'm surprised you made it out the door. Like,
so were these your prescriptions?
Yeah.
Or someone else? And
They're
was
mine.
it for the pain?
It was for a number of things. There was one for my shoulder. I'm pretty sure, like, Tylenol was mixed in there. Maybe naproxen,
Tylenol
and maybe
3?
I wouldn't have been Tylenol 3 because they wouldn't have given that to us.
Okay.
Yeah. So then the next morning,
wow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I have no
I laugh when I'm
words.
nervous and angry. I'm so much of both right now. Like, I can't even.
Like, for me and Jen, it either goes we're gonna start bawling or we're gonna be pissed.
I'm so mad
right now. We are pissed because the fact that they knew you took, we don't even know the number of pill. We don't even know what you took.
They have an
These were
obligation
senior-
to call 911.
these were senior
didn't call-
NCOs too.
They have an obligation to call 911.
Yes,
Straight
or
up.
whoever is the medic there, like someone needs to know what you took, how much you took, take your blood pressure, listen to your heart, maybe an EKG. Like what
So many
world are we
things.
living? There's so many things that, like, I'm not even in the medical field, and I know, like, you obviously should have been seen by a doctor.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so
And
angry.
I can't remember if this was the first trip, because, like, we had gone to see duty staff multiple times, but I can't remember if this was the trip that they told me, they're like, well, we're going to have to call the off-duty commissioner. And I was like, your point?
Okay.
I just tried to, sorry, I don't even know how to word. I tried to off myself. And you're like, they're threatening you with, oh, well, we have to call this.
But okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, and then
Sorry.
duty staff came to talk to me the next day, and he's like, we're going to go up to your your bunk and you're going to pack a bag. I was like, where am I going? So takes me upstairs, unlocks my stuff, and at this time we had our phones taken away. So he's like, here's your phone in a brown envelope. Here's your phone. Take it with you. I was like, where am I going? So I
Where
pack
are you
everything,
going?
and I'm like, what else do I need? He's like, pack as if you're going for a couple days. I was like, okay.
He sent you to a psych
So
ward.
packed a couple uniforms and all this, like, because we didn't have our civvy clothes because it's all in civvy lockup. We only had our military issued kit. So then they take me to this ER in I don't know where in Quebec. And I mean, I speak French, but not good enough, not that good enough French. So I
Right.
didn't really understand what was going on. And all of a sudden we get through triage and they're like, oh, and then rip me through the backside of triage, put me in this room, locked it, and like left me there.
Padded
And
room.
it was literally just this bed with like the bright white light. And then there was like a two-way door in the back that was the bathroom that was shared with your neighbor.
Mhm.
And it was kind of like, and then my staff sat outside. And I was there for hours before I saw a doctor or anything. And then they changed duty staff, which changed to like this like super sweet little French girl. She came in, she brought me a box lunch. She's like, I heard you didn't eat supper. She's like, I wouldn't have wanted spaghetti either. She's like, here's your box lunch. And like just puts it on my bed. I'm like in the fetal position, just like, what have I done?
Oh my.
And she sat there on a chair with me and she's like, do you want to talk about anything? So like we had a good chat. And then she's like, well, I have to go sit back outside now. She's like, here's a juice box for you. I brought extra juice boxes for you. And I was like, thank you. So anyway, a couple hours after that passed, they're like, Kate, we're moving you up to the other floor. And I'm like, anybody gonna tell me what's going on here?
Do you still
I
have
get up
no
to this-
idea what's happening?
At this point, I don't know if I'm being admitted. I don't know.
Do you
So
even
they're
know
like,
why
yeah,
you're there is my question.
I feel like I had an idea of why I was there.
But nobody told you?
No. So I was just kind of like, why am I stuck? Okay, what's happening? So they brought me, and this was like in the middle of the night. So they brought me up to this ward, and it's all dark. Everybody's sleeping. There's this
Right.
like glass wall, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna take your stuff," and they start getting me to fill out papers and whatnot, and then they take me to my room, and I get to my room. At least I had a window in my room, but unfortunately, my next door neighbor was screaming the whole night. And I still didn't really know what area of the hospital I was in. And maybe
Right.
that was just me being young and a little bit naive, not like
Right.
putting things together.
You were definitely in a
And-
psych ward.
Yeah. And then the next morning, I'm like, can I have my stuff? Can I have my clothes? They're like, no, you're not allowed. I was like, okay. So then I went to go talk to the social worker, and the social worker asked me all these questions. And she was like, nope, you're good to go back to training. So packed me up. And this is where they made a mistake. This is like after that
This is where they made the
conversation,
mistake?
They made quite
This
a
is
few.
where they made the mistake?
This is where the
No,
hospital
no.
I'm staying at made a mistake.
Oh, the
So-
hospital.
Oh,
The
okay.
hospital.
Yeah,
Okay.
the hospital I'm staying
Okay,
at.
I'll give you
so
that. I'll
remember
give
when
you
I
that.
packed my things, I didn't have any civilian kit with me.
Nope.
I had only CAD-PAT uniforms. That was
Yes.
it. So they're like, yeah, we're going to bring you your clothes. You can get dressed and your staff will be here to come pick you up. Cool. I get my stuff. I get dressed and I walk out because I think that my people are here to come get me. I walk out. Don't all these people who are still admitted to the psych ward see somebody in the psych ward dressed in full CAD-PAT? And the nurses were on the other side of the glass
Oh.
while everybody swarmed me.
Yeah.
They swarmed me. And I was like, can somebody, and they're like, they won't do anything to you. I'm like, yeah, but can you see that I'm like visibly, like, I'm not okay with this.
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, so anyway, got back to my staff, and then they were like, yeah, you've missed too much, so you're off this platoon. I was like, okay, so they sent me back to the holding platoon, and then, or they sent me to a different platoon because I was waiting for what they call like a performance review board. So they go through like all of your like courses that you've done and stuff, and they're like, well, based on this and this, that we think that we should release you from the military. And I'm like, okay, so because I got injured and then I was bullied and I like had a mental snap that you guys are gonna let me go, But like when you guys look at all of my core scores and stuff, I'm like one of your top candidates.
Yeah.
Like, so anyway, there's a bunch of people that turned around and said, no, we cannot lose this person. So like, okay, here's the deal. We'll send you back to your home base. You'll heal there. You'll come back. So what they did is they posted me from that training school to the like transition center here in Gagetown, and then attach posted me to another unit. So I wasn't even owned by anybody in Gagetown. I was owned by like Montreal. But at the same time, at one point, I was supposed to make it to Ontario, and I didn't make it to Ontario, but nobody said anything about making it to Ontario. So, like, I was part of, like, 4 bases at one point, like, 4 different units at one point, and nobody, like, clued onto that. So, got messed around there.
My brain hurts.
Yeah.
So then I was left fighting for my career for a year. Had to prove to them that, like, I was worthy of, being there. Actually, no, before they sent me back, I was part of this holding platoon. I was there for a really long time because I didn't know what they were going to do with me. And they were like, okay, well, you have some leave that you need to take so you don't lose it. Or like you're being forced to take this leave.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. They're like, when do you want to go? I'm like, well, I'll go home for Thanksgiving. Like, that makes sense. Like, I'll go spend some family time with family. So went for 9 days and I come back and I get pulled into the sergeant's office and he's like, where were you this time, this date? And I was like, well, Sergeant, you signed my leave pass and approved it, and my leave pass was posted on my door, so I don't understand. He's like, well, I have you under investigation for AWOL, and I'm going to charge you for AWOL. And I was like, Sergeant, your signature's right here on the leave pass. Like you approved it. He's like, can I see that leave pass? I'm like, I will give you a copy. I will give you a copy of the leave pass, but I'm not giving you the original. You can see the original. No. You can see it, but I'll give you a copy. I'm not giving you the original. Not happening.
See it with your eyes.
He was mad.
Yeah.
He sent me off. A couple weeks passed by, and I had 2 chits. And chits are like medical restriction sheets that like basically tell you what you can and cannot do.
Yeah.
So there was something on one of them that said I could do something, but one of them said I couldn't. But they were both like valid. So the other sergeant was like, "Can you go over to the MRI at 1 o'clock and like MIR and sort this out at 1 o'clock?" I'm like, okay. So I walk over there, and as soon as I walk in there, I get pulled into this captain's office. I was like, oh dear. And she starts berating me on like, I'm abusing the resources, I'm taking away, blah, 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 I'm here all the time. And I'm like, I just came over here because the sergeant told me to. And like, I've only come here when I've been injured. Like, I have not come here to get out of training. I have not come here to like I've come here when I've actually been injured. And you guys have the documents. So. Yeah. And she's like, I'm not dealing with this. Go back to your chain of command. So go back to my chain of command. The sergeant's like, did you get it sorted? And I'm like, no. And he's like, okay. So he's like, I'll deal with it. A couple hours later pass by. I get pulled in by the same sergeant about the leave pass back into his office. And I'm like, here we go. What did I do? And he's like, turns his screen. He's like, care to explain this email to me? And I was like, start reading this email. And it was this captain going on about how I was being insubordinate, I was being rude, I was being short, I was demanding XYZ. I was like, I just went over there because the other side, like, I don't know what to do.
Why is there no communication between any of these people?
They're across the hall.
0.
I understand that. I understand. I get it. But I'm just like, this is, okay.
And this is the best part that sticks in my head the hardest. At the end of that meeting, he's like, now for the rest of your stay at the school, you are no longer allowed to wear your uniform. I was like, okay. So I started walking out of our little division there, and he's like, no, come back here. And then he starts yelling at me saying that I'm a disgrace to the uniform, I'm a dishonor to my family, I should have never joined, I don't have any warrior spirit, I'll never amount to anything in the military. And he tore off my rank patch from my uniform, tore off my name tag off my uniform, and then tore off the Canadian flag off my uniform, and then told me to go change into my civilians. I was like not even 19.
I don't know whether to cry or scream right now.
I want to break something. I am never speechless. I have nothing.
I have nothing.
I have goosebumps. I'm so freaking mad right now. Like, my mind, I have so many questions, but I have so many punches that I want to dole out. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't.
I have my
Holy
patches
crap.
back. They're in my truck.
Yeah, but like,
But to have them ripped off of you like that,
and to
alone
be
is
told you want amount to
traumatizing.
nothing.
The biggest one
I'm
was you're
so mad
a
for you right
disgrace
now.
to your family. That was
Because
that was like
he knew. Did he knew
knew-
that your family was military?
he knew my parents. He knew exactly who they were.
What the f is wrong with people? Sorry.
He openly told me.
That is the question of the day. What the is wrong with people?
That's the question of the life
Yeah.
lately.
And then after I fought my way back to go on course, this same sergeant like really thought he had ended my career at that point. And then I showed back up at the school.
Good.
And then he saw me. He saw me in
Bam!
the He saw me at the cafeteria. He's like, "Aviator, is that you?" And I said, "Yes, Sergeant so and so." And he's like, "Huh? Didn't think I'd see you here again."
For
That's what I was.
And I was like, "Served you. You couldn't beat me down in the dirt enough to not want me to come back here."
That's
I'm proud of you for actually going back after
1,000%.
that. That is dehumanizing everything you've been through. And I don't even know if you're done telling your story. And I'm just like, it keeps getting worse.
There are a couple more injuries, but yeah.
Oh my god.
I want to start by saying, first of all, I am so sorry for everything you've been through. Okay.
Yes.
There's a big thing in the military where you have I don't even know how to call that. And I'm not military, so I'm speaking as a civilian. It's just what I've heard. And you always have to suck it up, be strong, and be this and be that and I hate it because it's like if that was not the case, you probably wouldn't have taken the pills. If that makes sense.
Probably not.
Like, if you were able to speak out and just, talk about what you were feeling you weren't even able to do that.
No.
Because if you talk about your feelings, then you're not a strong person.
Yeah, you're weak.
That's the
Don't show
military
weakness.
mindset. You can't show weak. Yes, same thing for first responders, like
Yeah.
Jen.
Don't show weakness.
You can't show. If you show weakness, then you're nothing.
You're nothing.
Which
what good are you?
Which is total BS. Okay.
Yes, it's garbage.
I'm sorry you've experienced that, but I am so effing proud of you for going back and for that sergeant to be like, "Oh, I did not demoralize this person to a point that she left,"
Yeah.
And to that sergeant,
I was not gonna let him beat me down. It was not
no,
worth it.
girl.
And
Good.
once I got back, and this was the other thing too. So while I was like getting ready to go back, I asked my sergeant here. I said, "What's my dress of the day for travel?" Because I had to ask that. I'm like, "What do you want me to wear?" I was hoping he was gonna say, "Travel in your civilians."
No.
Travel in CADPAT. So I go to the airport, 19, going to the airport, all dressed in my CADPAT, and everybody's like, "Where you going? Where you going?" I'm like, "Montreal." And they all look at me like, "Cool." And then I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there waiting for my flight. I was just checking like to see if it was delayed or whatever. And then somebody like caught me way off guard and like shut out their hand, was like, "Thank you for your service." And I feel bad. I looked up and I was like, "What?"
So that is hilarious because like my husband's military and has been since 2007, and every time someone tells him thank you for your service, he doesn't know what to say.
I really don't, because I'm like I don't need to thank you. I did it at my own free will. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same. for my husband. Like, he hates when people say that, and not.
Where I was 19, I hadn't gone anywhere.
Yeah, but that's yeah. So it's kind of hard to be like, okay, all you can do is say thank you. I got you back.
I said, well, originally I was like, what? Because I was confused because I'd never had that experience before. That had been like the first. And like, I was stressing because like I was getting on an airplane again by myself and doing all this. And I was a target. Everybody could see me. Everyone was looking at me and I knew that. So I was like, I got to be on my best behavior. So got on my plane, get to Montreal, get my stuff, and you have to meet the master corporal at the front, and it's checking off everybody, and then you get loaded onto all these big buses. I show up to the master corporal's desk. He looks at me. He's like, "Why are you wearing your uniform?" And I'm like, "Because my sergeant told me to." And he's like, "You shouldn't have worn your uniform." I was like, "Do you want?" Well, I don't. Okay. So anyway, so I was standing there, and we're waiting for a group of us to get on the buses, and everybody's parents are coming to me. They're like, where do we go? And I'm like, I don't know.
Anyway.
I
have a message here for recruiters, okay? Do you want to keep people in, or are you trying to get people out, okay? Because this doesn't sound like you guys are struggling to get people in the army. Okay,
believe me, I would do it again.
Yeah, but come on.
Are you trying to keep people in, or are you trying to get people out? Like, what? They're like struggling with freaking recruitments, but then I could not.
Yeah.
I would be charged. If I was in the army, I'd be charged. First day, I'd be charged. Okay.
Right here.
I raise my hat to everyone who's been through all that and not be charged, because I would be charged so many times.
I've been close. So, and like a small detail, like when you travel in your uniform, you're not allowed to travel without like any of your patches, right? And I'd been working like with a unit at that point, so I had some of like the unit patches, so I like at least blended in and like looked like I was supposed to be there. But I kind of forgot to take those off, and there's so many. There's some on your jacket and everything, so I forgot to take them off. And walk into the school, I have all of my kit, and I'm carrying like 3 duffel bags, my box, and it's as big as me. I'm walking in, dump all my stuff, and I walk into the classroom, and before I can walk in, one of the staff members off the French platoon like saw some of the patches that I had and ripped me apart for having the patches, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, because I had my cat badge and everything. He's like, "What? You earned that cat badge? You didn't earn that cat badge. Yeah, you didn't earn that." And I was like, "Sorry, I just had to travel with like this on, because like otherwise it could potentially look like stolen valor." So I was like, "You have to, right?" So anyway, so I took everything off and like gave it to them, and we got into this room, and the sergeant there noticed that I was in uniform. He's like, "You're course senior for the week." And I was like, "Of course." So when you're course senior, you have to take all your 60 ducks with you everywhere you go. You gotta gift off the where you're going, what you need. And like, no, there's a lot of people that did not want to listen, because they're like, "Who's this person? They don't know what they're doing." And it's like, we could make this easy, or we can make this hard. Because I don't know if you know, but I know some of the ins and outs here of the game, so we can make this easy. Yeah. Anyway, a couple weeks of training go by. Everything's going really well. I'm like acing every week. I get my new week patch. At the end of the week, you get your week patch, and everybody's so excited. We're like, "Woo, we got our new week patch." Then we go out and party, and then the staff catch wind that we were drinking too much, so they order a 5K ruck march in the morning, and it always ends up
gross.
So so we did that, and then we got to a point, and they're like, "Okay, we've got some time in our schedule. We're gonna do the obstacle course again." And I had already done this obstacle course, passed it, and I dodged it. I was like, "Gosh, I did it, and I had no injury. Great." And we were gonna do it again. We get there at 7 a.m, covered with ice.
No.
And the staff were like, "Yep, we're still going to do it." And this time the staff didn't do it before us, because for them to like show us that it's safe and that we can do it, they have to do it first.
Mm-hmm.
On this day, they didn't do it first. My first obstacle was a 6-foot wall. We were dressed with our Gore-Tex boots, which are like waterproof boots, which don't flex at all.
Mm-hmm.
And we had your rain suit, which again doesn't stretch. Then you've got your whatever else. You got your FFO with all your whatever, your helmet. So like you're full of kit. And I'm a little bit vertically challenged. I'm not very tall. And I'm trying to climb over this wall. And like a couple tries, and the master seaman like was getting so mad that I could not get over this wall. He's like, "Get your fire team, he'll help you over." I'm like, okay, mind you, my fire team partner at that time was like 6 foot something. So he knelt down. He's like, "All right, you step on his knee, then step on his shoulder, and then you get over the wall." I even was struggling just to step on his knee because he was so tall. So anyways, I finally got on his knee, got on his shoulder, and he's like, "Can you move your foot? You're pinching this." So we're like trying to like weave this together.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, you good?" I get to the top of the wall and I'm like, "All right, I'm at the top. I'm turning." I turned one way. He's got my foot. He turned my leg the other way. My knee popped.
No.
I freaked out and screamed. He freaked out and dropped me. So I fell from the top of that wall onto the ice flat, onto all of my gear, knocked the wind out of me, and was like, "Oh my God, did I just break my leg? Like, what the heck?" Meanwhile, I can see all of my like chorus members and like my master seaman standing there. They're like, "What do we do? What do we do?" And then I look over my shoulder and I see the sergeant like running through like 2 feet of snow, like all the way. He dives into the snow and he's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And then he's like, "You need to be quiet. You're making a scene." And I'm like, my leg. And then they're like, "All right, we're good." And then they hummed and hawed for a couple minutes about calling an ambulance because they're like, "Oh, the base hospital is not open yet. Like, do we call an ambulance? Like, what's happening?" Then they're like, "Okay." They called over to whoever to grab like the like really old stretcher that you see in museums. It's the same thing that they still use. They brought it out. They like rolled it under me, and the sergeant was like, "Okay, this might hurt," and like rolled me on, and I was like, "Ah, okay, yeah."
Whoa.
So then,
Nope.
then
They didn't do any C-spine precautions when you fell 6 feet?
no.
Now, how high was that wall?
I was probably pushing in between 6 and 8 feet.
And no C-spine precautions.
No.
And they just
Well,
put
the
you on
same for the other veteran that we spoke to. They didn't do
No. So they threw me on the stretcher and got my course mates to carry me through the snow, which these guys have never carried a stretcher in their life. So I'm holding on for dear life, being bounced in the snow. We get to the truck. They're like, "All right, get in the truck." And they like toss me in the truck. They drive through, and I'm with the leading seaman that was on our course, and he looked at me. He's like, "You know, of all people, why did it have to be you? We wanted to keep you here. We thought you were good, and now you do this." So we get to the
because you totally did it on
opening.
purpose.
Yeah, you totally.
Right?
My leg is shaking. Like I can't even stop. I'm so mad.
I'm hot.
Then we get to the hospital on base, which isn't even like open yet, but the doors are open. He's like, "All right, well, we'll catch you on the flip side." Didn't even get out to help me out. I got out of the truck myself, walked myself in. Meanwhile, like I could not bend my knee, and like I'm in pain. So anyway, so I sit in front of the chair, and like a couple nurses had walked by, like getting ready to open up for the day. And they're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm not okay."
I'm fine. It's
So
fine. Everything's
so as soon as they open,
I'm
come
mad
around.
laughing now.
They get me into a room. They start asking me like all this other stuff and whatever. And they're like, "All right, here's some Motrin and some crutches. We'll see you back in a couple days. No x-ray, no physio, no nothing. No ice picks on the crutches because it was springtime." So I had to like crush myself back to my staff. I gave
We are
them
mad laughing. We're not laughing
I
at your
know.
situation. Like I
I'm so
Gave
fucking
them-
mad
it
right
needs
now.
to come out. It needs to come out in some way. And Rain,
It's horrible.
can't
And so I
even.
get back to my staff. I give them the chit, and they're like, "Well, it doesn't say you can't do duty, so your platoon's over at the CBRN hall. Get your butt over there." So here I am carrying all of my kit, and I was like, where's my rifle? And they're like, oh, your fire team partner's got your rifle. I was like, okay. So I get over there. By the time I get over there, they're already they're ranked out outside. I didn't even make it to the end of class. And they're like, yep, we're going off to the drill hall. And I was like, Sergeant, can I just get like a head start? And he's like, no, back at the platoon, you're going to march with us.
I'm going to march with crutches?
He's like, you're going to do drill with crutches.
Amazing. Let's get right on top of that, shall we? Dumb.
They were doing everything to get rid of you.
Yes, but why is the question?
I'm honest. I really don't. It's not like I'm just like a horrible
Would
person
you
on
piss
platoon.
off?
Like,
I'm kidding.
who of my ancestors pissed them off?
Yeah, really. Would your great-great-grandfather piss off?
Holy. Please tell me, not that I don't want to listen to you, but please tell me you're done. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can't
That's all the injuries.
I can't take any more BS. I can't.
That's all the injuries. But there was one weekend where I was putting all of my, like, I was tidying up my closet because I was goody two-shoes. Like, I didn't really have a desire to go out into the...
See, at that point, I would have said, fuck it, and just everything would have been trashed.
It just wasn't for me. Like, so I was like, and I also learned that if I did all of my laundry and stuff on Friday night when everybody was out, I didn't have to rush with the big crowd on Sunday trying to do their laundry. So I was like, well, I'll just do this. I'll go out to the barbecue pit, which was like the smoke pit out there. And there was a bunch of girls and guys were like, yeah, we're going to go to the mess. We're going to pre-drink, and then we're going to go into town. They're like, do you want to come with us? And I'm like, well, I don't know. And they're like, come on. I'm like, I gave into peer pressure because I'd never been before in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, fine, I'll go. I'll have this new experience. I go. We were there for about 20 minutes, got kicked out because somebody from a different platoon had brought in like outside beverages into. But we'd also had our tips thrown at us. Yeah, they didn't like our tips, so they threw it at us.
Your
so
what?
Then we just,
Tips.
Our tips.
They tipped them and they got thrown back at them.
Yeah.
What's a
Tip,
tip?
like when you tip the bartender.
Jesus Christ. I can't even think anymore. Okay.
So pretty.
Yeah. So
No,
you
but
decided to-
I'm just like still process
Yeah.
like sorry.
So
go
anyway,
ahead.
we continued on our nightlife journey, and then it was like 2 a.m. and then somebody was like, man, I'm hungry. And then the whole group was like, yeah, food would be really good about now. So we find like a pizzeria that was like just about closing. Feel so bad for them because there's like all of us that rushed in and they're all like tidying up. We placed all the orders, we ate our food. Then we were waiting for a taxi, and then two of the other guys I didn't even know were like running in an alley, and I was like, oh well, we'll leave them. We get into our taxi, we get to the building, and we are sloshed. And to get back in the building, you have this like card, and you have to swipe in and out of the building, and you have to swipe whatever. But you have to do drill doing it. So you have to like march into the building, stand behind this yellow line. They come up and say report. You do your drill. You stand at attention, and you say aviator, blah blah blah. I'm returning from XYZ, swiping back into the building, and they're like swipe, and you swipe, and they're like dismiss, and you do your drill, and whatever. None of us could do drill. None of us.
No, you're drunk.
And they were laughing at us. And then one of the guys was like, you guys need to leave before the warrant sees you. So we're like, okay. So we're quick marching. Mind you, you had to follow this yellow line on the floor. But it's like this far away from like the green lockers in this building. So we're all like zigzagging. I turned around to see like if my butt guy didn't hear us. So I turned around. And then I crashed into the green lockers. I was like, perfect. Perfect. So then they're like, okay, we're going to go out to the barbecue pit for one last smoke, and then we're all going to bed. I'm like, all right. So we went out there, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to go to bed. I was on a different floor than like the rest of these people. And one of them was like, hey, maybe so-and-so should like escort you, make sure you get back up to the right floor because every floor looks the same. No
Right.
joke.
Yeah.
So he's like, and I was like, no, I'll be fine. Like, it's good. They're like, no, let him go. Like, he just wants to make sure he's getting to your room. I was like, okay, fine. Like, it's just being nice. Just came with me. We cheated by going on the elevator, which was a no-go. We get up there, and we get up to the pods. And here, like, each person that's in that pod has a key to get through that first initial door. And it only unlocks that door. And then your key will unlock that door and your door only. So nobody else has those key but those people. So anyway, so I said, good night. I said, breakfast at 8 o'clock. Yep. Okay, I'll meet you guys down there. All good. Thought he had turned around and left. Opened the door. It closed. And thought I could hear footsteps behind me. But I was like, it's just my head. I unlock my door. I get shoved into my room. Lights, it's dark because I didn't turn the lights on. It was dark. I'm the only one in that pod because everybody else had left for the weekend, so there's nobody else there. Closed the door, shut, lock. And I was like, how did I end up on the floor? Like, did I trip? And then somebody was on top of me. And I was like, what the heck is happening? And then a couple other things happened. And I was like, okay, this isn't right. And I got kind of sobered up for a second. Picked up this guy by the collar of his shirt, dragged him out and threw him across the hallway against the cement wall. And I was like, don't you ever think that you can come in here and think that that's okay, or that you think that you can do that. And he walked away. And then I was sitting there in shock for a few hours. And I'm like, well, there's nobody in my pod. I can't talk to anybody. I can't go down to duty staff because they're going to just get mad at me. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to try to go to bed and I'll try and deal with staff tomorrow. So anyway, I had to wait till Monday. So on Monday, I had made a request through the course senior to talk to the staff. And I went to go talk to staff. And of course, I was paired up with the male on our course. And I sat him down and I was like, listen, something happened over the weekend and I don't really know how to say it or how to tell you because I feel embarrassed, but this is what happened. And the room went quiet for a little bit. And then he's like, you're a female in the military. It is what it is. It kind of expect it. What do you want? What do you expect? You're a female in the military. Get used to it. And I was like, all right, cool.
I don't even know where to start on that. What the actual... What?
I feel like I can't get angrier, but I keep getting angrier.
Right?
I'm just... No. Look, it doesn't...
Yeah.
Okay. No.
I was shocked by that answer because they have this whole thing in the military of op honor.
Yes. Operation Honor, which surprisingly Op Honor. Everyone made a joke about it because you're hopping on her. Yeah, Op Honor is a thing where you're supposed to report any type of abuse, whether you're male, female. But then when you do the report, they don't do anything about it. So
they just didn't want to deal with the paperwork because
exactly.
Yeah, there's actually one guy that on a different platoon where we had heard the story and they ripped him out of a classroom and released him that day.
Wow.
He was gone.
Okay. So
I feel like it you go ahead, Jen.
Okay. So you told them about what happened and they said,
yep.
Oh, well,
you're a girl.
suck it up, princess.
Get used to it. You're a female in the military. Get used to it. You're a
Right.
minority.
So, what would happen if you had done that to a male and he went? Would he have got told to suck it up, princess? No.
I would have been
just so
charged.
mad.
I would have had remedial whatever.
Right. You would have had your ass
all
whooped.
that.
This guy gets a pat on the back. You'll get her next time.
Actually, I'm not, without saying much, let me tell you, guys' side, they also don't get help.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Nobody gets help.
I'm not kidding.
No,
I'm not
I don't
kidding.
doubt that at all.
They
You
Nobody
gotta
gets
get the
help.
right person.
Gross.
No, they don't get help, and I can tell you from, just trust me on this.
I do.
But they
I
even
will.
told us, they in our briefings, during the weekend, they would always tell us, don't add to the population, don't subtract by the population, and don't get caught by the MPs.
I think
And
that
if
should be
anything
everyone's
happens on the
motto.
weekend, let us know.
Okay.
We are not speechless, and I don't think I've ever had an episode where I was so angered.
I don't think
And
I've ever.
the military are constantly, first of all, they are struggling with recruiting people. Okay. And there's this whole thing of hiring minorities such as female. Right. They want more female in the army. Personal opinion here. Don't come at me. You should go in based on merit, not because you're female.
Right.
You should go in based on merit, not because your skin color.
Right.
You should go on merit. It's merit, merit, merit for me. But listen, if you have merit and you're female, I have
Great.
zero issue. But you're trying to get minorities. I know they are. They always want to have minorities. But then you treat them like that.
Right. Like,
how are you expecting to have people join the army or stay?
because they make it look really good on the outside, and then once you get in there, they're like, now that we have
You're stuck.
you're stuck.
You signed and you're stuck.
It's gross.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry that you experienced all of this. Like,
It didn't just happen once. It happened twice, and the second time I just didn't even bother. I was like,
See,
nobody's
and
gonna
that's the
listen, so I didn't even
problem.
bother.
That's what he wanted. That's exactly what he wanted. He wanted, because he knew it was going to happen again, and he didn't want you to report it because then he doesn't have to do paperwork.
I am so mad right now. I can't even think straight.
I can't, like, my brain is mush right now, and at the same time, my gears are going, if that makes any sense.
I want to
It's like-
hold you, and I want to punch people for you.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
And I wish
Send me some
I had-
names. No, I'm just kidding.
I
Kidding.
wish
have
I
a
had
list.
some kind of don't give him to Jen. She will act on it. I'm just saying.
I just won't put
just said
addresses. I'll just
people.
put the names.
We know people. That's the problem. But no, like I wish I had power. Like how do I put this into word? I wish I had power to help you.
Yeah.
And I don't. The only thing I have is this platform.
I
And I hope it reaches people who do this type of
right.
And if it reaches you, be
Do
better. Do better.
Do better.
And like, I don't want to discourage like the military at all, because like I still have
No.
a
No.
whole lot of family members serving. Like, I am
Yes.
super proud to be like, you know, what I did
Yes.
there. And like, if somebody comes up to me, they're like, "Would you recommend the military?" I'm like, yes,
Depends.
but beware.
Did I not say the same thing about my
Yes.
job?
Like, this is
Yes.
strongly my opinion, so use your judgment, but this is my experience, not to take away that you won't have the same experience, but just
Right.
so you know, this is what happened to me.
Mhm.
Right.
Yes. And
And
this is your story.
Caution.
Good for you.
And you know, as I was talking to, and you watched a video with, he was a Master Corporal Stanton
Yeah.
at the time. I told him, like, it's interesting to me to hear this type of story because my husband's been in since 2007. And nothing compares to what what you've been through. I can't even compare to anything, right?
No.
But he said something that stuck to me, and he said, when you join the army, it's a roll of dice. Okay?
Roll of
You
dice.
might
Sure.
have a wonderful experience. You might have the best experience. We're not discouraging you from joining the armed forces.
No.
But it's a roll of dice.
Don't
You
get me
might
wrong,
have
like,
the
sorry, when I was here at the unit, don't get me wrong, we had a blast.
Yes.
I got to go
Yeah.
for flights almost on a daily basis.
right.
I got to work and I got to see like more than my share of how all the trades work together to maintain the aircraft. And at one point at the unit, there is 3 family members from the same family, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool.
It's cool.
And like, we had a lot of fun there, and
Yeah.
I got to go to the field. We were teaching TikToks to our chief out in the field.
I
That's
love
awesome.
that. Yeah, so
We had fun.
like I'm not doing, like, we're not doing this episode to shame. It's just you're telling your story.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to tell your
Yes.
story.
Yes.
And if people want to come on and tell the positive of it, I'll also listen and praise the army. But right now in this episode, I cannot praise the army, okay?
I am so
I
ashamed
can't.
of the army right now. I'm not even gonna lie.
Right now, um
of that behavior.
with this.
And it's the Air Force
Yes.
too. Like
That's even
They-
crazier because they're like, Air Force is Gucci, Air Force gets hotels, Air Force gets everything.
and I
like,
even
Yeah.
got stuff at the unit because I had the experience of like in high school working on different airframes. Yes, it's not
Yeah.
the same in the military. The standards are much different, but the general principles of the maintenance were generally the
Yes.
same. And I don't think a lot of the guys that I were working with like kind of knew that I did have a background. Like I had over 800 hours before I even got into the military.
right.
So these guys would be asking me, this guy literally was on top of a helicopter, and he asked me, he's like, yeah, can you grab me a 5/16 wrench? And I quickly organized a toolbox, and it was like, this wrench? He's like, yep. And I said, well, you can come grab it here, because you don't think I know what this wrench is. And he's like, well, you'll never amount to anything more than a tool bitch. And I was like, I'm going to go grab a coffee.
Bye-bye. Yeah, no.
And I
See?
dropped
I
it. I
don't
was like,
need-
here you go.
Yeah, I would've
You're a
dropped it.
strong,
right
you're a
on the
strong woman. That's all I got to tell you because you dealt with a lot of BS.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had some good times.
I am
but
too, but
it doesn't even it doesn't, how do you say that, balance it's not balanced. Okay, the good
doesn't outweigh the
and
evil.
the bad is not, it's not even.
There's
It's
not even close.
not even close. It's
Like,
I'm a loss for word. I'm a loss for, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry, people. Like I'm a loss for word.
I really do wish there was something that I could say,
Me too.
but other than holy crap and what the and oh my god, I literally have like my mind is blown. I'm not gonna lie. Like I got nothing.
And then when you
I got-
seek care within like
Ugh.
the military, because I was like, okay, well, I should probably go see like a social worker or whatever, like go talk about this, right? I went into the social worker and they're like, well, it's your fault. Like you did it to yourself. You brought this on you. Like, it's like, okay.
Okay.
I was trying to like decode all of this and like, did I cause this? Like,
No.
Like,
No.
No. I hope you know
No.
today. No.
I totally 100% know now.
Okay.
Like,
Okay, good. So I was like, we have to have a whole other podcast if that's the case.
there's a funny moment from the unit, though. Oh, gosh. One of the taskings.
Go ahead.
So, I don't know how I got roped off into this tasking. I really don't. But I was just sitting, mind my own business, and they just, like, gathered a bunch of us. They're like, okay, everybody go find a mop. And I was like, oh, we're gonna mop the hallway? Like, got nothing to do. He
I'll
took
mop.
us outside. It's piss poor rain outside, and we're standing out there with mops. I'm
Oh
like,
no.
did anybody else see what we're mopping here? He's like,
The ground.
mop the parking lot. So
Yep.
we mopped the gravel parking lot for like hours, and like then he called us back inside, and like I was like walking to the point that my boots were like,
Yeah.
Yep.
like,
I'm not-
like,
I'm
and you could
there.
see the water like oozing out of my boots. I still to this day, I have no idea why I got roped up into this
Just
tasking. I
'cause
feel
they
like my
can.
rank had something to do with it.
Just because
So-
again.
This is not my first time hearing this. It's not. I've heard of this, like in the U.S. too, not just Canada. Like they'll
Sweep the
they'll
sunlight.
make you. Yeah, I was just about to say that you have to go sweep the sunlight outside for a couple hours.
Oh my god.
They just do things to make you do things. It's absolutely. It's funny now, but in the
I have-
moment you're like,
I'll have to send you the pictures, but there
Oh,
I got
God.
we were prepping for we had like a family day and we were prepping for it.
Yes.
And the sergeant came over to me. He's like, "Can you sweep the bouncy castle?" And I was like, "Heck yeah, I'm going to go sweep the bouncy castle."
did you
Did you
Oh,
jump
yeah.
at the?
The two of us were jumping in there. I did a backflip in the bouncy castle. Sweep
I
it.
mean, just bounce and swing the dirt away.
Yes.
I And then somebody else came out. He's like, "Are you guys even working? We're sweeping. We're sweeping.
Sleep in the bouncy castle.
Told me to sweep the. You know, I'm just doing
happening.
as I'm doing a backflip, I'm getting the top.
Right?
Just explain, how can you give a 19-year-old the task of sweeping the bouncy castle?
Hey, no, I'm going to stop you right there. Don't give a 42-year-old the task of sweeping a bouncy castle. This
Hold
we
my
all have
shoes.
been that sweeping it.
Right. Oh, I love that.
That's insane. Oh, God. Okay.
So, what's one thing that helped you heal that you never expected?
Honestly, probably. So I ended up going to a rehab facility last summer that catered to first responders, ex-law enforcement, and ex-military.
Yeah.
And when you go there, there's only 14 people there. And I was the only female. So I was already intimidated because I was like, I'm going to be the only female going with 14 other veterans. Perfect. So I showed up there. And unfortunately, I didn't get as much out of the classes as I had hoped and wanted. But the smoke pit, the group of us, the non-smokers and the smokers, there was a time we'd be out there and the staff were getting suspicious of what we were doing out there. But the chats that, like, there was times, like, the whole, like, group of us would be, like, sobbing in that little hut.
I mean...
Or we would go fishing or stuff like that. So, like,
Find
going
your
there
people.
was really good. But it'll have to be for another podcast. There's 3 absolutely crazy things that happened while I was there, too.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
any institutional, we'll definitely have an episode for your institutionalization.
If I told you,
There
you
you go.
wouldn't believe it. You would not believe it.
Oh, I'll believe it.
Oh, I'll believe it. What's your favorite, I guess, guilty pleasure to decompress?
I'm gonna say probably taking one of my vehicles, and depending on which one I take, if I take the truck, then it's trail hunting and blasting music, and it's a concert starring moi.
Yes!
Or
I love it.
I'm in the car cruising the highways again, jamming the tunes. Concert by moi.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome.
Yep.
Like driving
Not
is
good.
your
Love it.
therapy.
Driving is my therapy, but like the contents within the vehicle are not Spotify worthy by any means.
You know what? Don't
Hence
care.
it
I'm sure you
stays
sound
here.
amazing.
Hey, you're the only spectator in there, so who cares?
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is Grippy Sock time, and it's our signature question because we are called Grippy Sock Talk. And funny enough, you have been in the psych ward, so I guess this more than once too, and we'll
talk
have
about
another
that.
episode. Oh yeah. So if you had to be locked in the psych ward with one person, real or fictional, who would it be and why?
I know it's not necessarily one person, but I think being stuck there with you guys would be an absolute hoot.
Oh! Yes,
The
yes,
havoc that we could cause. Like, I know me and you know that the ins and outs here, but like,
Yes.
the chaos.
The one that we
chaos.
both went to. We know exactly
we
how.
know,
Yes.
We know the ins and outs of that place. We know all the secrets. We know the how-tos. We are like the gurus of that place. I guarantee if I show up to there today, they'd be like, "Ugh, not this person again."
If I went back, they would also say that. I promise you that. So if we were all in there, okay. So if we're gonna have a mental breakdown, can we sync it up?
Yes,
We should just have a group chat and be like, "Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, go."
What are you guys doing Monday? We good for Monday?
Be like, "Oh, you don't want to go to work that day? Cool. Yeah, it's all coordinated. Okay, I'll meet you here." Or we all just show up to one place and like, I don't know, somehow get
Can we go
get
to
the cops on.
Ontario?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. We'll drive.
Okay.
I know the quickest route. We'll go.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm in.
I'm a passenger princess. Okay.
I love to
I'm-
drive, so.
Oh man, we're gonna be dueling it out.
Okay,
we
then
can take
switch.
turns.
I'll
We
sleep
can
in the
take
back.
Okay, so we'll take the truck. We'll put you in the box with like a double bed. And
Yes.
we'll cruise.
Sign me up. Sign me up.
Road trips are just fun in general.
Sign me up.
That's awesome.
It was such a pleasure finally meeting you because we
Yes.
talked. You messaged me probably over a month ago,
Yeah,
but
we've
because I'm
chit-chatted
like
for a while.
short on time.
On everything.
Oh my god.
Aren't we all?
This was like the only time that I was able to get you in. But this was a long time coming because you messaged me quite a while back, and I was like, I need to get her on. I need to get her on.
And that was just the surface.
I know, and you're gonna be a repeat guest in the podcast world. They're called we recycle guests. I don't like that word, but that's what they use as.
I'm recycled for a new purpose. What's my new purpose?
Being normal? No.
No,
No.
normal is
Nobody
boring.
likes to be normal. Normal is boring.
I don't like normal.
I already know I'm not normal, so it's
Oh.
take me as I am. Like
That's what I
you're
said.
gonna like me or not. Like
Well, this is
No.
it.
Yeah.
This
If
is
you don't
it.
like me, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
Amen. But it was very, for me and Jen, I could probably speak for her too, infuriating. Okay.
I'm still mad about it.
Rightfully so. And I want to say that I'm proud that you're speaking up.
Yes.
Because you posting this puts you in a vulnerable position because I can almost guarantee you. Now, I love a lot of people that are in the military, but some of them are going to look at you and be like, oh, look at her complaining, right? You're putting yourself in a vulnerable position. And then there's going to be opposite where people are going to be like, that's crazy. Like, I feel for her or I've experienced this or but it takes a lot of courage to speak up like this, especially for a career that is so loved by people. And
Right.
when you hear what happens behind closed doors, sometimes people don't like that. So you're a very courageous, brave woman. I am almost certain that most of our viewers are going to feel for you.
Gonna rally behind you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the biggest thing now is that I don't work for said government, so
you can say what you want.
They can't sew my mouth closed.
Amen. Good for you, girl.
Preach,
and
girl.
we're going to be your platform. We're going to be your platform.
Yes.
You talk to us about anything. We'll have you back on for other crazy stories.
I'm looking forward to it because
I want to hear about those.
oh,
Me
man, like,
too.
I wish like I don't want to like jump on anything, but like if I could change my age to reflect my life history.
Dude, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
200 years old. Like,
Right.
but
yeah.
thank you for being a voice for yourself, but also for others who's experienced this. Because you're not the only one. I can promise you that. You're not the only one. And you speaking up can help other be like, you know what? She spoke up. I can speak up too. And this is what Grippy Sock Talk's all about. It's about speaking up and not being ashamed and not being embarrassed and taking control of our trauma. And that's exactly what you did today. So thank you. Thank you so much
for having me.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you everyone for watching. I know it was probably very frustrating and emotional for everyone. But I can't thank you enough for supporting us and watching. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.